Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Hockmed Gaming. I am Hockmed. We are here with Out of Ore. Had a week break. Uh, wasn't really super planned, but kind of figured something might happen. It was just kind of holidays, hanging out with the family, family parties, just Christmas, and just enjoying the time of the year that you can. But we are back. Don't you worry. I do want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays, whatever it might be. And also with huge news, if you're not part of the Discord, which is totally cool if you want to be in the link, I am now a YouTube partner. I hit 500 subs on Christmas Day. I actually hit 502 and was able to apply for the partnership. It said it'd take up to a month, and the next day I got my email saying I was part of it. So I have hit the first level of partnership, and the next one's 1,000 subs. And yeah, so thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting. If you haven't, all of those help out a ton, and I'd appreciate it. But just being here is awesome too. So I think we got everything up and running, ish, right? Like we're not making sheets and all that we want to do, and that, and not even actually making it into bars at the moment. But we spent 2 episodes getting something going here. So we are going to do some digging today. We got to get we have to get down another level. If you happen to miss last episode, we did get the new loader. And we just did a little bit of testing just down in the pit. Just to make sure that wasn't dumping dirt everywhere. Because it seems to be pretty common for me. So we have this guy here. I think we're gonna hop in here. Yeah, let's. And we do have the fuel truck now, so that is actually really awesome because we don't have to drive this guy all the way up. So let's try to get some of this pit cleared out. Try to remember my buttons here on my joystick. Oh, I forgot how slow she is. I do have the DLC, so I have the big boys and stuff like that. Obviously, we're not going to get them yet. I kind of cheated a little bit to get this one, you know. I think everything is running. Let's find out what happens. Let's just see what happens. Okay, well, at least we got it. Nonetheless, this is working. It's going to dump up into that plant. I seen water running, so I'm going to say, hey, it's working. So let's kind of, not sure. Kind of like this view. I think I just need to zoom in. So we're trying to get this first level cleared off here. Ultimately, this is probably kind of a little big for this site, but we're going to make it work one way or the other. Nah, we're hitting on the back there. It's all right. Can we hit enough? It may move us a little bit just to... let's see here. Let's raise you up. Let's try there. That should be good enough to... Definitely want to get the big boys. So we are going to get some pit digging here. We have to come up with a plan. We need to get some iron and stuff. We really need to get down to... Oh, how about I move this, though? Really need to get down to, like, some rock and stuff. So we can get some asphalt and get that made, because that is essentially what's going to be keeping us from doing, unlocking the next tier of equipment and getting some bigger boys in here and really get some work done. I don't want to be too far forward for this, but that's alright, because we're just going to kind of hit this little bit here. And I need to come up with the best way to use this machine down here, how I want to do it. Like I said, I think it's kind of not very efficient for me right now, just because it's, you know, so low. Like, I don't have a huge shelf here. Yeah, let's dump it in there. It looked like it was kind of spilling off to the side for a minute, but I think we're good. We're going to quickly not be able to do that. If I remember, what were we at height-wise? 11,650? Does that seem about right? That's what I'm kind of thinking. Definitely want this flat as possible. I kind of hopped on the new map that came with the DLC and was just kind of playing around just a minute with some of the big the new big baggers that were in there, and it was nice and flat, and I mean, it just kind of stayed right where I wanted it. So, all right, let's kind of rotate this. Kind of excited too because I seen Beam and G had the friggin' heavy equipment update where they got a big old truck and a front end loader now, and you can't dig in the game as far as I know. Basically, you can like do some foresting stuff like picking up trees and loading them up in trailers. There's like a marble quarry, I think, and you can load up some big blocks, and there's like some rocks and stuff you can scoop up. Um, I don't know if their plan is to have digging. I don't really know because that, that game is insane, and at the moment they have all these pieces, and it seems to be the hardest pieces of the puzzle um, for like some huge simulator game. But all the fine tuning stuff isn't there, and I feel like that's the easy stuff. So I don't know if at this point it's a destruction derby, physics simulator, rally racer, heavy equipment sim. I mean, sim racing. Once they get, I believe they're like working on new tire physics for it, and that's gonna pretty much, from what I understand, change the game for like the sim racing in it and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what it is or what it's trying to be. At the moment, it seems to be trying to be everything, which could be good. And I could move my camera. I don't know if I'm gonna actually hit this or not back there. Yeah, it does, but I'm not really taking a whole lot. Man, I gotta be just reaching that. And there is that thought that I am better off coming in here, and I know I talked about it with the front end loader. I don't honestly know if it is quicker than this or not. Like right now, I feel like we're probably quicker with the big bagger, but I'm gonna have to move that in a minute if I want to keep using this. But I also am gonna have to get that roller down here and get this thing smoothed out because I don't want the loader bouncing around. That'd be a pain in the butt. I mean, right now I'm taking about a realistic amount for these buckets, but you know, whatever. We're doing some digging. I have all that over there to clear that little hole back there. It's really bumpy back there. Let's just say I have not put myself in a spot that makes this really easy to deal with in here. Uh, but once we get this layer off and we start the next one, I'm hoping that that's something I'm going to concentrate a little harder on to make it, you know, prepped to go deeper a little bit better. I know when they first put them in, like when testing, you could drive them while using it. And it was a little OP, but man, that'd be nice. I think I'm going to be... I don't know if I can actually get away with going forward anymore. It'll be close. We're going to try it right here. Let's see what happens. Nope. Okay. Didn't think so. Alright. Oh, man. Trying to debate. What do I want to do here? I think regardless, right? I need to straighten this back up so I can drive this. Oh, it won't rotate and drive. Dang it. I honestly feel like we need to get the roller down here, smooth this out, and hop in the loader. Let's kind of park this guy over here, like, along this edge for now. We'll take that other loader and take it up there. Grab the roller, which I'm not really sure where that is. But let's get this little guy out of here. Roller's got to be up here somewhere. Oh, I see it over there. Over there in that cut we were working on. I don't know why we were working over there. I don't remember what. Oh, we were just working on getting more of the pit opened up, weren't we? I don't know where to put you. How about right next to this other one? The truck still flipped. Not too worried about it. Yep, we have to come up with a place for the oil refinery at some point. Again, that's not really top priority. I have to get up and like get up in the mountains up there where I'm going to put like my actually wind turbines up there and wire them in. My nose has been like part of winter. I got like allergy. I don't know or what, but it's like raw on the inside from blowing it so much lately, and now it like hurts really bad right on the ends from like probably scabbing over something stupid. All right, well, let's do some rolling. Ideally, I want to do some digging, but definitely a pain in the butt with how bumpy it was when we were doing this the last episode. So we'll take a couple minutes here. We'll get her flattened out and get this dirt out of here. Dirt and pay dirt. We got a little bit of both. But yeah, so I really do appreciate all the support from you guys watching and give me that level. That is awesome. I had always obviously hoped, and it was my goal to make it clear that I'm going to, to hit partners level with or partnership with the YouTube and stuff like that. So it's awesome. I feel blessed. So thank you guys again. Thank you for the support. So that even if you're not subbed or you don't comment or you don't like or any of that stuff, even if you just watch the videos, that is still huge and that still helps out. Still helps the channel get seen and stuff like that. Alright, let's go over here. Let's try to flatten some of this where we're going to be driving right now. Especially this little nub here that I put up. Probably going to have to get out and hit that with the old pickaxe, but that's fine. So, I mean, really, once I started using, the bagger, I don't do too bad of a job. It's hard, like I said, because it's not nice and flat, so it bounces up and down. I can't stay on the same level. Or if you do try to take too big of, bites, it leaves like a little ridge behind it, so it's something I just got to be aware of and try to take more realistic bites. I think it makes a better final product and easier down the road. All right, looks like we're just gonna hit a little bit up here in the center. And a little bit right on the right side of us now. And I have gotten all my parts around, by the way, so I have not forgotten. I'm still planning on trying to build up a PC with my old parts, my old PC, and try to get out of ore playing on that, so I can kind of have a server up that I'll probably just leave open and let people from the Discord, get the password or whatever in there, join in, and we'll just play. Hop in there and hang out, play a little bit too. May not be in there for a couple of days. Come back and see what we're looking like. Really like this to flatten out a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to. All right, I think that should do. All right, well, I guess first and foremost, let's just push that right in like that. And then before I forget, let's get rid of that guy, because that'll cause us problems, it will. Yeah, I think it'd definitely be a lot easier and quicker, obviously, if you have some truck drivers that, can load up off the bagger. But when you're solo, I kind of think the field dump out here kind of works pretty good. So I don't really have any orders here, or want to do this side first, this side first. I'm just gonna dump it back up in whatever way I turn, drive that way, and scoop some up. That's all I gotta go. So I'm thinking with the power, once we get, kind of the turbines and stuff like that, and whatever I'm gonna do, maybe like a little solar farm again. Probably don't need it, but just for some looks, just for some immersion into the city. But I think I might put all the power underground to the plant. I think that might help, because being like, I want the power for the whole plant to come, along the whole mountain range, and probably like a little pretend substation area or like a power plant up there. Uh, Having all them extra wires, I think, are going to be kind of not what I'm wanting to do. So I think if I put them underground, then it'll hide them a little bit. But we'll see what we can come up with. Might be able to make our own kind of like power poles up in the air a little bit using different decoration parts. Not 100%, but we will try and do some stuff. Try to do something that looks cool. Or like I said, worst case, I'll just bury the lines. Just bury them down underneath there and be good to go. When I say bury the lines, obviously probably use the tunneler. Um, and then either, wood or steel, whatever we get to, and actually, makes like utility tunnels, not just bury them, literally, figuratively bury them. That's what we'll say. And then get the powers to the plant. So it'll be kind of like an underground utility tunnel, is my plan. Which, depending on, might be the way I do the oil fields too, right? Like that might be kind of cool to. So I might have to get some oil into the asphalt plant, I believe, right? We need gravel and asphalt, or gravel and oil for that to make the asphalt. So might try to just kind of work it all into the same tunnel system and just have some pipes down in the tunnel. But we'll have to see how it works out. Nice thing about this loader is it's brand new, so I'll probably make it through a couple episodes before it breaks down on us. But yeah, ideally I want a lot bigger power poles, like taller ones that hold a lot more. But I only want them to hold a lot more if we can get, like substations. I think that'd be kind of cool. With power switches, let us link all of them up together. So if I turn on a switch, I can power my wash plant, or I can power my, steel manufacturing plant, whatever kind of plant I got going on. But we'll see. We'll see what we get, where it goes. Again, that's where I doubt it, but I'm hoping that mod support for more than just vehicles comes, and like we just get blanket mod support, because last I knew, pretty much it's just going to be for vehicles. But yeah, mod support to be able to add different gameplay or different mechanics or different building pieces in vehicles. Maybe building pieces are included, with vehicles. But I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for. I think something like that really helps and changes the game. But even if we get vehicles, that'll be good, and hopefully we got a good modding community and enough people that like to make them, because I don't know how. And if I learned it, I don't know if I know enough about this equipment to even do it. I mean, the first thing I would do would be little equipment, little skid steers, a little backhoe, a little just tiny stuff, like new starting equipment that kind of helps with that. Like either starting with or a step between pickaxe and hand mine and everything. And some of the bigger stuff. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the bagger is nice. I like it, and I think once we get it set up in a better position and I kind of get more efficient with it, I just feel like this is quicker for some reason. And it might just be the size, right? It might just be because I got the little guy. I, I cheated. I didn't unlock it. I just bought it. I had the money. I took a loan out, which I gotta pay back. I gotta pay back. I have to try to remember the next money I get, the next 2 million, all pays it off right away before I buy anything. It's a pain in the butt because it doesn't pull itself out of my money, right? So power pull right now. I think we should clear that. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna go up and hit this right now because if not, either I'll forget or it's just gonna be pain in the bottom. Already kind of lined up for it. We'll grab it. But yeah, we definitely need to get iron. We have that pit up there by the bridge on our way into town. Didn't really want to dig that down yet, but whatever. I feel like that could be a good size one, but I kind of want to dig a little deeper here, and maybe we'll hit some more here as well. I mean, we know we got some right there, but if I just go and dig that out now, it's not really going to be just going to put us a hole here, and we got to start back over there with all that coal. But like I said, we'll do some digging. I've been quite a few episodes since I really accomplished anything down here, and I really want to start on the next layer down. And we're not too far. We're not too far from it. So our weather's been freaking crazy up here too. Luckily, we are in out of the blizzard warnings that we're having today. Part of our state, especially in the UP, is getting like 3 feet of snow. We had, I don't know what we ended up getting. I know we were calling for about a half inch of rain yesterday. I'm sure we got at least that. And then it all turned to snow and freezing today, but it stopped raining. I grab this before one. But it stopped raining long enough to let the roads kind of dry up before they went to freezing. But yeah, it's just a ton of stuff weather wise. It's been crazy already. Probably had more snow this year than the last quite a few winters combined, almost. I did not put that blade down enough for there, but I don't care. I'm not trying to level this guy out this time. Not up here. It's already lost cause. It'll be the next layer down that we'll try to Try to do a little bit better. And it probably wouldn't hurt to get a GPS on this just to help. I know you don't need it. You can kind of like set the bucket down, tilt it forward, and get it pretty flat and good. There's some people that are really good and skilled with these things in this game, and I probably might just go too quick. I don't slow down and try too hard. But yeah, I kind of watched a video on that, the BeamNG, like the new big rock truck or dump truck, whatever they're calling it, and front end loader. And like they actually simulate, from what I understood and kind of seen, like the actual hydraulics, I guess. So I guess if, like with the big dump truck or even this, like with the turning, um, it's hydraulically done. And like if you turn, how'd they say? If you turn like way too quick or something, and you don't have the pressure there, it actually won't turn, and it'll wait till the pressure builds up before it'll turn or something like that. There was a whole lot of stuff in there talking about it, and some like real heavy operators that were kind of talking and said, yeah, it's pretty good. I know, like if you don't have the machine run, it won't even let you turn it like hardly at all, whether you have a wheel or not, because there's no obviously power to run anything. But right now it's just picking up some stones off the ground or some big marble blocks and no digging or anything. I'm hoping. I am hoping. So I'm still fairly new to Beam, but I believe in the map editor you can like raise and lower terrain, right? So there's already some sort of, you know, terrain tools in there. So I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna go with it, but cause I'll tell you this: if that ends up being able to dig or gold mine or anything in there, it's gonna be crazy because if you'd have asked me at any point up until the update came out or like, you know, news about it, if you would have said, hey, what do you think? Do you think they're ever going to have any kind of heavy equipment and stuff like that in there and possibilities of digging ground? I'd be like, no. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, last I knew, we're just waiting on the new tire rework, and that's once those physics are down. From what I understand, it might be a game to look out for racing anything. It might be the sim to beat all sims. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But very fun game. If you haven't played it, check it out. If you're into any kind of drive-in, crash-in physics, it does not have multiplayer support from the game, but there's BeamNP that lets you do multiplayer. And I believe there's at least one more that is fairly popular for multiplayer on it, from what I kind of found out. So me and some guys from Content House, which is the guys I race with and hang out with and do a lot of gaming with as well. Last couple nights we were kind of messing around and just learning the game. Which also, that's some cool promotion. So I'm been part of this Content House for a little bit now, and like I said, that's where I do the dirt racing series at for the Sportsman series. So basically the rookie league, and like I said, random other games. But they have goals of a place for content creators and stuff to come together and try to help build up and work with content creation and stuff like that. And I actually got asked if I'd kind of want to lead that program or that division of Content House, and kind of get the content creator side of Content House back up and running and operating. So I took that. So I'm gonna be working on that as well, and I'm assuming you'll still. Yeah, I mean, I'm not assuming you will definitely. I'm not quitting my channel. I'm not stopping my content. Nothing like that. I'm basically just gonna be helping other guys in the Content House or who joins us and becomes part of our like official content creators and stuff like that. I'll probably do some like either some broadcasting of races on the Content House channel. Um, you'll probably see me promoting some guys from there. Probably some, like a little podcast or something like that. We're not really sure. Me and the owners of the Discord going to be getting together probably after the new year at some point and get the team together and go from there. So that's kind of exciting too. Another nice little side project I get to work on, and I was happy to do it. So, I mean, who am I in the content creation world? Really nobody, clearly. Um, but, I at least have knowledge, I at least try, I at least give honest opinions. I have usually good ideas. I did help manage my wife's stream for, what was she, about 2.5, 3 years of streaming before she got injured, and then it was just became a hassle. Then came out of injury and got promoted, and then she just did not have the time for it. Uh, I would call it. I would say she was definitely a successful streamer, not, not not millionaire, tens of thousands of views. I'm saying for somebody that did it for a couple of years and to average 100+ viewers and get rated by John Sandman and stuff like that, and have a really good community there and make a couple bucks. I would say successful. Doesn't successful. I don't think doesn't always have to be the level of a Tim Tatman or Burnt Peanut or something like that. I mean, obviously they are. I'd say they're more of a superstar as than just being successful. Realistically, I think to be successful at content creation or streaming or anything is all a personal opinion and kind of based on the goals that you set for yourself, right? Like, so I set my first goal at, what was it, 100 subscribers, I think, on YouTube, something like that. And that was my first level of saying, okay, this is, it's going pretty good. I like this, is good. And then I was like, all right, 500, getting a partnership. That is my first realistic big goal of content creation. And I was able to do that. Took me, what, September, October, 15 months ish, between 14 and 16 months. I'm trying to remember when my first video was I think it was September. Maybe it was sooner than that. But either way, right over there, just, a little bit over a year, which I think is absolutely awesome. And I do feel blessed and grateful for that. So now we'll go for 500. And so far, I'm calling this successful. I've had a great time doing it. I've met a lot of cool people. I think the channel's done quite well for being new and stuff like that. And I couldn't ask for more. Like I said, I didn't set out to do this to quit my day job and make content creation my life, right? Like that wasn't, I never had that goal like, oh man, I want to make a bunch of money because, realistically, it doesn't happen, you know. To the level of that, like, I'm not going to buy no Lamborghini anytime soon, that's for sure. But I've learned a lot of cool stuff. Oh God, that was terrible. I haven't learned how to dump a bucket yet into there. But I've learned a lot of cool stuff. I've taught myself a lot of things. I've tried to improve upon those things. Like, I've never knew DaVinci Resolve before I started doing this, and I still have a ton I don't know and a ton that I can and want to learn. But guess what? I've been learning, and I slowly do it and up it, and I've had a good time. Any kind of graphic design, even though they're just thumbnails and they're not the greatest, they're not the best out there. Um, I still try and I apply new stuff that I learn and all that. So it's been a good journey so far, and I'm super grateful and happy that I've been able to do it. So thank you again. That's it. I'll say thank you a billion times, but I'm going to try to only say it one more time in this video. As you can tell, as I talked more and more, I got sloppier and sloppier with my driving. But we're clearing a good amount. We're definitely moving it. Like I said, I definitely, out of ore was huge for me. It definitely helped me grow early and quick. And I said, Split helped me out. He, sent some people my way, and I made his content creator of the month. And I think March, maybe it was, I believe. And then I've never wanted to do just one game. Like I one, my rule has got to have fun. So I knew with my personality and how I play games, if I was playing one game forever, it would not be fun, and I'd end up just resenting the game and everything I do with it and what I'm, content creation in a whole. I created a gaming channel to game on, so you see a lot of different stuff. Obviously a lot of simulators, survival stuff starting to come into it, and some racing. And some people, I think, will make a new channel for racing and one for this and one for that, one for horror, whatever. Maybe if I, had millions of subscribers, but I'm a gaming channel, so I'm putting my games on here for now, and I'm just doing it. Ultimately, I want you guys to end up enjoy watching me no matter what I play, and that's what I'm gonna try to work for and try to get better at. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I assume the plant's up there running. Like I said, I seen water in the wash plant. I don't. Well, I see smelter smoking, so we're good. Whatever. Trying to debate if this is a bigger cut than my last season or not. I mean, ultimately, my plan cut is, but this little section here, it's hard to tell because that was a while ago. Might need to run the old roller across here shortly too. No, let's do that right now real quick. That way I can try to get like this scooped up over here. Get along this wall so we know that's good and done. At least done for the time being. Obviously we're gonna keep going that way. This here's been terrible. I've just been digging down, talking, not paying attention, but I'm alright with it. definitely dipping down over there, but this was, I think, pretty kind of bumpy when I started over here in this area, so I ain't gonna judge myself too bad. I said I'm not going for perfect on the roller. Just try to get some of these bigger bumps knocked out. I think it makes it a little easier trying to drive the loader through here and bounce in, and obviously it helps get a better bite on the dirt and level. Well, it makes it easier to try to stay level. Skill also helps. Let's just back up. I wasn't going to hit this little bit, but I might as well now, because as soon as I dig out over here a little bit, it's just going to cause a problem. And then I think right down this little line. I think that should be pretty good. You know, let's turn you off. We don't need to burning fuel or damaging parts anymore than I can help. We should turn that on. And don't mind the fact that I'm probably, you know, should have killed the power to this already and or, you know, turned myself into a Faraday cage. We need some signs for power lines above. And we didn't roll today, but we should have unlocked, I think, what was the last thing we needed? Explosives, I believe. So I was hitting roll because it was the only thing there. I will say this, I feel like the episodes have been a little bit better since getting rid of, you know, the little debuff wheel. I thought it was fun, and it just added more of an annoyance, I think, than like a challenge per se, and that may have been on me and needed to get better ones in there. But I think the tier system, you know, kind of like some missions and stuff like I've set up that I'm not getting rid of. I think that's a better route because it kind of still lets me dig and have some fun and do what I need to do, but not just instantly go buy the biggest stuff out there. Kind of forces me to slowly build up as I build up my mind and stuff. So, but I had to try it, right? And I did go quite a few episodes with it. But yeah, it was just kind of too limiting on on content. He said it wasn't. Oh, the road was closed. It wasn't like it made it hard. I just had to drive a different road, or you know, like, oh, I can't get gas today. That didn't make it hard. It just made it so I couldn't do what we needed to do to progress. If the machine needed fuel, that means I'd have to go figure out another project to do. So I didn't see one person say anything about it. I don't get a ton of comments, but I do get some here and there. I didn't see anybody say like, oh, I wish you would have kept it. So I'm taking it as I didn't piss off anybody that bad, or they probably would have said something. Yeah, I think ultimately this loader is quicker than that bucket, than the Big freaking bucket loader over there. Not bucket loader. What do they call them in here? Bagger. There we go. I mean, because we dug with that thing for what? At least pretty much one whole episode, if not two. And I feel like we only went like about to the end of the thing to about where this loader is, then up in here a little bit. And we almost cleared this whole thing already. And I will say I haven't tested it and been back into it, but it was either the bigger machines or the new map in that DLC that was kind of laggy. It was very choppy, or I was having issues with my PC. Any are possibilities. Oh yeah, because if you watched my first Mon Voyage video, camera wasn't working for some reason, and restarted, tried messing with it a bunch, still wasn't working. I ended up switching USB ports on it with something else, and both devices worked. So, like, because I only have like one, maybe two extra USBs, and that's like on the front of my case. The back is absolutely packed. I need to get a little PCI Express card with more USBs. As stupid as that sounds, I don't even run a capture card or anything, obviously, but with the steering wheel and then the joysticks and mice and keyboard and wireless charger for the the mouse pad and two cameras, which one's a cheap old one I use for head tracking software in Farming Sim, American Truck, any of the racing sims I play that have it, Beam, stuff like that. This game I had it kind of set up in here when I was driving a little bit, just testing it. And whatever else I even have. Oh, my Stream Deck, just a ton of stuff that plugs in. So, I don't know. I did it, started working. I said, all right, cool. We'll call it good. I ain't going to ask questions. So, I'm thinking we're going to be close. I think we're going to be able to finish this out. I'm hoping. We'll be close. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But either way, I think that's going to put us next episode being able to, even if we don't finish it, we'll be close enough where next episode we'll be able to get the ramp extended down to the next level and start going there. Start getting the next section cut down, and hopefully, I don't know how deep we have to be, but hopefully hitting some rock. Which, if we do that, that's obviously going to turn into a whole nother issue, because then we're going to have to get our plant prepped for asphalt and stuff like that. We're not really ready for that yet, just because there's so much more I need to do. Still need to get like the foundation built all the way. But we'll see what happens. I do like the little dirt effects. They do look kind of cool. They add a little bit to it, I think. Did it hurt that they're in it? If they wouldn't have put it in, I don't think so. Does it help? I think so. I think it adds a little bit to it. It makes it look a little nicer, a little cooler. So definitely awesome. Awesome job there. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what's next. I've went over it multiple times what I want. I want the stuff that they put in just kind of fine tuned. Like the paver and all that, and the power. A little bit on that. Some different production parts for the plants. Trucking, I'd love to get some trucking in there to be able to haul the vehicles back and not be able to just to drop them off anymore by helicopter. But I don't know ultimately like major content what I would want next. Okay, major plan content. Obviously, there's stuff that I would love to see go in here, but it's up in the air. Like water, volumetric water would be awesome, but I know we don't want to alienate other systems or stuff like that. But either way, because I think it would have to be volumetric water. I don't think you could do like the water plane where like at this level is just water. So if you went underneath the map, you'd see water across the whole thing because I don't know how well it'd be easy. You wouldn't be able to pump it out, and once you dug too deep, you'd be underwater. So I think the only way to do it and do it in a way that makes sense and doesn't change too much is volumetric. And then then you could pump the water out and pump it somewhere else, and then your water pumps don't just have to go in underground, which I get. It's like a well, makes sense. Ain't like it's wow, I can't believe that pump just goes into the dirt and we get water. No, I mean I totally get it, but I think it'd be a lot cooler to have to trench in water from a river, pump it in, and use that on your wash plant. Obviously, I'm sure most people think that'd be cool, but we got to worry about performance and that kind of stuff. And oh god, I thought I was clear. And capabilities of the engine and the game and stuff. So let's see, realistic wise, what would that planned stuff? Man, I don't really know. Like drills and all that, I think it seems cool, but it might just be me not really understanding what the point of them is going to be, like realistically, like in the game, like what drilling for explosives and stuff. I understand that if that's what it was, but if it's just drilling to find, like kind of like we have now, but a much better system, I can see the point of it. I can understand it, but I don't know if that would be top of my list. Trains would be awesome, right? Like, but I think they've kind of already, said that it's probably going to start with something smaller, like mine carts and stuff like that, which is totally awesome. I think that'd be as cool as a train. Um, but I don't think like the underground mining system is that in depth or cool yet, so to speak. I mean, really, you're just like digging here, but they're like, I know there's cave-ins a little bit. I think you'd really have to implement, the better cave-in systems and stuff like that. Oh, let's try to save the button, make the most of the autosave. But we actually, actually have to use the support, or your mine shuts down. Like closes off, like when it collapses, stuff like that. I think getting that kind of stuff in first probably make more sense. So it'd probably have to be, for me, trucking. I think semis and low boys for equipment, and obviously, you know, different haulers and trailers for either hauling out of here or hauling from one plant to another, something like that, hauling stuff to the sell point. Yeah, I'd have to say that I can think of on the list, probably trucking. But stuff that I don't know what's being worked on yet, definitely water, volumetric water would be absolutely awesome and a game changer. Beyond Water, small equipment. I don't. I think the thing is, I think it's gonna be cool and it's fun. I'm gonna guess if it is on their list of things to do, it's not high on their list, right? Because most people, I think, ultimately wants to be driving this big stuff. I don't. I would guess that the numbers for the little equipment probably isn't that huge. I know a lot of people are asking for like Steam equipment. That I mean, I hope people get what they want in the game, especially if that's what the mass numbers want. Me personally, I could care less about it. I couldn't care less. Yeah, I probably couldn't care less. Uh, but I'm not like that person that just because I don't want to be like, oh, you guys are idiots. We don't need to waste development time and money on that. Like, if the numbers want it, definitely all about it. But I want stuff added that, you know, mods aren't going to be so called kind of allowed to add, so to speak. I want Unreal 5. I want it, and I want the graphic improvement. I want this game to look a lot better. I think that turns off a lot of people from some of the comments and stuff I've read and seen. I don't think the game looks like the game's not terrible, right? It's not no next gen stuff, but I think the vehicles look pretty decent. I think the ground terrain is probably kind of the issue that really draws back like that, like the trees. It's if anything, it's the ground textures. That's probably even with the foliage, it just doesn't. It helps, but I don't think it's the greatest. But you know, so Unreal 5 seems like it'd be really cool, especially if they are able to do it, get better lighting for the vehicles. But then then you get worried about the Unreal Engine problems, which apparently Unreal has been working on and getting taken care of. But not every game has the same those issues. There's some that don't get the stutter, don't have an issue. Like there's a Assetto Corsa Rally. I believe that's on Unreal 5, right? And that game is beautiful. There's a couple other ones out there on the list too that you wouldn't performance wise be like, oh wow, this is Unreal. That's kind of insane. It's Unreal. Digging, I feel pretty happy with the digging. Ultimately, I think the dirt physics and stuff kind of seem cool. Um, I like the looks of the way it pours and scoops. The best it could. I like the rollers to be able to just flatten where you roll, so you could roll along a cliff edge and not like have it kind of smooth everything around it and taper it up. I'd like a active like GPS system for the vehicles, so like when you're running with the dozer, you can set the height you want it and it'll automatically raise and lower your blade for you and keep it there. Just a lot of little stuff like that, but nothing that like if the game never gave me, I'd be like, okay, screw it. I'm never playing again. I didn't get this. But yeah, probably trucking out of plan stuff, and then just if anything was to beat that, I can think of it just be quality of life stuff. Just fix some of the systems you guys threw in. Not rework the power system, but give us bigger power and like a substation or something, so we can actually have power plants. I'm totally fine with the equipment. You know, like you can't hook up 30,000 kilowatts to this power system. I totally am fine with that, but I'd like to be able to go to substation and that has X amount of kilowatts or whatever, and then pull it from there and give it to the equipment and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean that's my thing. But I usually say it after I go through stuff that I'd really like to see. I like the game. I think they've gone leaps and bounds in from where it was when it released, because it's not early access because you can't go back into early access. It's just still being developed. So community really got behind them after they released, and they were able to go these miles they're going because technically they had a release game and didn't have to do any of this. But it's cool that you know game took off good for them, and that's why a lot of people were complaining about the DLC, you know, for it and locking equipment behind it. I'm on the fence, right? Like baggers aren't locked behind it, just huge baggers. You know, like and then a map, that's I don't see that being a big deal. It's not like you're getting special ores and stuff, at least that I've found or have heard of on that map. I mean, you can transform any map into the map that they did, right? Like you can dig it out and you can make it, essentially. So the equipment thing, I do get it. I do understand it. But at the same time, the game, I think the game's fairly priced. I think for the content you get, I don't think it's a bad price. I think, they didn't not give you baggers at all. And you got, there's some big ones without the DLC. And I think that anybody that's even serious enough that, plays the game serious and wants to see the game keep going, I think $10 pretty fair to get just some bigger versions of stuff that's already in the game. Like I said, the map, I don't know if I heard anybody say anything about a map being locked behind DLC. It's just another map, right? Like it's not game changing. Bigger baggers and locking equipment behind it, but they're just locking bigger equipment. You still get it in the base game. They added it to there. But I've gotten my value already out of this game with my calculation. Like I said, I do $1 per hour. So if I buy a game for $20, my internal goal, and then tells me, you know what, that's a good deal. 20 hours. If I play it for 20 hours, I hit my value and everything after there. It's just a bonus. And I've definitely hit my value to hour in this game. So it helps the devs. It helps support them. It gets some money rolling in, some more money, which either A leads to more people working on the game, more money to get resources, maybe some of the assets that they use or plugins, like maybe for the digging, maybe the new version, maybe it's going to cost some money. And it's not an early access game. Like I definitely, which like I said, that's a weird like situation, right? Because it's not early access, but the game's changing like it's early access, so it does make it kind of feel a little funny. Oh, this is just ugly digging here. Let's just cover this up real quick. No one will know. If it was early access, I hate that. I hate that when early access has DLCs. What was it? Enzo, I just got a bunch of heat for having a DLC, but it was free, right? You just had to add it to your library kind of thing. It wasn't like a paid thing, so I was kind of confused on that. They're like, oh, well, early access and have DLCs. I'm like, I mean, it is. It's just an add-on to it. I guess why they did it that way, I'm confused. Unless down the road after it releases, it's not going to be free. I don't know, whatever, I don't care. But, it's a release game. It's a fully released game. Um, and I need to confirm, but I believe that you can play like the original release, right? You might know. I haven't looked in a long time, but I think like you can go back to the version that has like the dirt balls and all that released with the game. I believe. I'm gonna have to check that. Definitely don't take anything I say as for sure. Um, so even if like someone's like, oh, I bought this game like this and it got changed, as long as that's in there, then again, that's one of those things. Yeah, it's not a big issue. You just keep it on that version. If you don't want the new stuff, then that's it's fair. And I'm hoping when Unreal 5 comes, assuming that it's still coming. I haven't heard anything different. I just heard they're not in a huge rush for it, which is fine. Don't rush it. Don't do anything for anybody else. Just get it when it's right and works good. But I'm hoping that there'll be like an Unreal 4 version too, because there'll be systems. Mine might be one of them that ain't gonna handle Unreal 5 very well. I am in the process of trying to bump up my graphic card and getting going with the hopefully probably the 5080s to plan. I have a 3070 Ti. 5090s from what I heard are trash, and I don't have that kind of money to spend on a freaking graphic card. That's for sure. So I've been saving a little bit of money here and there, and then I got my Christmas bonus, and I sent that to my daughter for a loan for now, because like I said, she crashed her car last about 2 weeks ago now, and she's still in college. She's waiting to get into her clinicals for sonography, I think it was. And so me and my wife loaned her some money to get a car. She's paying back to us. She is she's an adult, and I'm not buying you a car, but that money was going for us. And once I get that back and probably have some saved, I'm hoping before the graphic prices go up, because they're AMD is doing it in January, and I think Nvidia said like February is the plan right now, from what I'm understanding, because Nvidia just cut like 40% of their graphic production, or is going to. I don't know. It's stupid. But so prices on them are going to jump. So we'll see what happens. See if I can get lucky. If not, well, it is what it is. But plan on upgrading to that, and I think that's going to help out overall. I already got a power supply that'll already handle it, because I had to buy a new one of those, whatever it was, November. But yeah, that's we'll go there, we'll get it, we'll have some good times. But yeah, if you're on the fence of this game or not, it's just a chill game. Nice little sandbox. I definitely want to go through and I'm gonna go through and read some more comments on the game and see kind of what thing people are saying on it. I haven't watched it in a while, and or read anything, and seeing like the tutorial. A lot of people are saying it wasn't working, so that's why I did that one video on it, and probably see if there's anything else out there that people are having issues with. And I mean, I know tutorials are good. Tutorials are where they're at. A lot of people like watching tutorials and knowing how to do stuff. Problem is I don't ever see myself as playing. I don't have enough knowledge to tell you a tutorial. Right? Like, my tutorials is this right here. Like, I'm playing. You see how I do stuff. Is it the best way to do it? Probably not. Is it the most efficient way to do it? Most likely not. But is it the way that I'm just doing it at the moment? Yep. That's pretty much it. There's people out there that have insider knowledge and a lot more time and stuff in this game that definitely more suited for tutorials. Plus, if I ever do anything in a game and someone sees it and go, "Oh man, how did you do that?" Just tell you in the comments, or if there's enough, then maybe I'll make a video on that or something. But yeah, I'm not want to be that guy that makes a tutorial and say, "Hey, do it like this, this, and this," and then just people be like, "Are you doing it that way? That is a terrible way to do it." Yeah, I know. It's just how I do it. Let's clean this mess up again, since I dumped it right off the back of it. Oh. I should erase it. Okay. Oh. Did this? I would like that fixed, right? I know someone in the thing, but unless it did get fixed, I haven't realized it. Like, if I scoop out 30 meters of dirt or whatever, when I dump it on the ground, it'd be awesome if it was the same. The last I knew, it was it didn't work that way. I seen a little bit of like iron there, and I didn't know if that thing ended up coming all the way over there. So figured I'd just test it out. And I'm definitely a little high over there, but I think we're going to be okay. Ultimately, we'll get the... I'm not okay. I made me a huge hole here right where I'm trying to dump. We'll have to... Ultimately, we'll have to use this loader or whatever to kind of get this started coming over here. And then from there, we'll probably transition maybe back to that. I don't really know. I don't know what my best use of the bagger would be. Let me know what you think. Kind of feel like, like you and a buddy or something running like straight side by side and just kind of like crossing over like wipers with, belts going down the middle of you. I feel like that would be like efficient. Just windshield wiper and a cut across. Yeah, I don't know. Luckily, I got some time to worry about that because I still got to get a ramp built. Gotta get room for that to even be parked down there if we decide we want to use it to come across all of this. Still have to make room for it because there ain't going to be any room right away. Alright. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, yeah, we cleared a lot of dirt. This has got to be quicker. This has got to be quicker than that. Even though I have all this downtime right now, I think overall I can do a lot more dirt at once with that. And once I get deeper, like, and that might be the key, right? Like, we build a ramp down high enough where where the buckets go. So if we raise the buckets all the way up, we make our depth that deep, and then we can just go across that whole wall. However, well, it should be about up there to the top of the iron there, right where just below that level. So if I make it that deep, then I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, honestly. Sure, I'm trying to make you guys talk in my comment section, but I also actually want to know what you guys think. Should I go? See, what makes that hard, though, is I still have to make room for it to get down there that deep. So my thought is, and we could see how we do it. We know that it goes up to about, right about there. If we make that ramp down this deep, we could always get an excavator, get the new excavator, and dig out the top and then the loader below it to get us room for this guy to get down here, the bagger. But if we go that deep, then I think it might. I think it might be quicker for a bagger than the loader, because the loader's only going quick right now because I have to move this so often because I'm only getting like one scoop across. But if I have to go, like one, two, three or four across without moving that, I think that will ultimately move a lot more dirt. So all I'm going to have to do, though, in this ramp, man, I have to take that down. I'm actually debating on changing the ramp to over here. Because if not, I'm going to have to start doing curves. And we'll see how well that went for me last season, right? I mean, I can do it. I'll pull it off and I'll make it work. Or I'm going to have to take and clear this out more over here because the ramp, you know, kind of right there now. I don't want it too steep getting up there. But if I come here and do a ramp down, then I can always still dig that way too. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll grab a dozer and maybe we'll just switch our ramp to over here. We can start it back here, have it nice and sloped, nice easy grade on it, and have that be into the pit and work that way. That might work better. But unless I hear something different, I'm thinking that's the plan. I'm gonna go deep, like super deep as I can go for the bagger. I think that is the best way to make the bagger quicker than the loader. When I don't have to move the bagger, you know, after one swoop across pretty much. All right, let's take a look. Let's just see what we got today. We had some stuff in there, but hardly anything. Oh, let me go to the storage. Okay. Got some gold, some ruby, some diamond. I can't wait for, hopefully, automation and for the diamonds and stuff. One. So 7,000 gold to this one I missed. Okay, well, not bad. Not too bad. A lot of diamond and rubies to gonna start building up, but they are just a pain in the butt. Well, let me phrase that. They just take forever. Like, how long have I been running these things for? Like, how many episodes now? I got like 3,000. So much more to go. All right, so we're going to do that. We are going to call it here for this episode. We spent pretty much the entire episode digging. I said we would, and I didn't break the promise. We did do a little rolling, but at least dirt was still kind of like forming one way, so I counted as digging. We got to clear out just a little bit more there, right by where I left off, and I think we switch our ramp for now. This ramp can't be deleted, right? Because I want a circle to be able to have a circle if we need it. But at least that'll give me time to work that ramp a little bit different. And it might mean going this way, carving like this stuff out, and then ramping down that way. But that is far into the future, and I'll worry about it then. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, please. Especially if you find yourself coming back. Like I said, I play all sorts of games. I do full length, full form stuff. I only edit out when I step away for dinner or talk to the wife or whatever may come up. But I want you guys to see my mistakes, see what I do good, see what I do bad, learn from it, or also figure out how to make something work if you don't know how to make it work, and it always gets edited out in someone else's video. Not like out of or people, just any game for that matter. But next goal is 1,000. Thank you again so much for the help and the support to 500, over 500. YouTube partnership level 1. Let's go. Thank you. Have a wonderful night, evening, morning, and hope to see you next video. Bye.